Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Van Valen, and this morning I feel like lamenting, which is an expression of sorrow or grief. I thought I'd share this with you because I want to be real about what we feel and think. I want to encourage you to be real about what you feel and think. Today's a gray, rainy day. 40% of us have less energy on a day like today. That opens itself up to more sorrow and lamentation. Yesterday afternoon was a beautiful sunny day in Southeast Virginia, and Becky and I went on a walk through a beautiful park, First Landing State Park. It's the northernmost place where Spanish moss grows, and there are cypress knees, and just really, really pretty. But some of the lanes are narrow, so we wore a mask. And we were practicing social distancing by turning our backs and stepping off the path as far as we could. And we had a number of emotions as we did this. We had, on the way there actually, we talked about sorrow. All the shops closed, all the people out of work. So there was some sorrow, even though it was a beautiful day. So we're walking on this path, and then we began getting irritated because people were acting out their anger through passive-aggressive means. We would pull off to the side, and people would make no effort to add distance. You know, they had plenty of room. They could have moved 2 feet to the left, but they walked through. We saw one person out of hundreds that had a scarf around her mask. And so this concerned me. And there are different political views, and people have different ways of coping with things. But, we felt kind of disrespected. We were obviously older, obviously wearing masks. And I felt irritated and sad about that. And that theme continued. We watched the news last night, and we live near a historic area called Williamsburg. And so they were showing the parks, and the news reporter was excitedly saying people are out walking and enjoying this and practicing social distancing. And the images that they portrayed were just as they were at First Landing State Park. No masks, people passing very closely to each other, clusters of people, clearly not family units, gathered and talking. And this newscaster herself just walked, through the crowd wearing no mask, no protection. And I'm thinking, no wonder people are confused. And I'm not trying to make this is not a political comment. You have a right to believe what you believe. You have a right to live as you choose to live. But there needs to be, in my opinion, a gentle society in a time of crisis would show respect for different people's needs and wants. And so I just wanted to share that with you. Now, the reason I'm sharing it with you is not to start a political diatribe or that sort of thing. We also heard a sermon yesterday where a pastor was instructing his congregation to lament. He said, you've all been brave, you've all been expressing gratitude, this is awesome, but you need to give a little space for lamenting. And that's why I told you the story that I did, shared the sorrow that I feel, that my sorrow was really about confusion. People are confused, they don't know who to believe, what to believe. And so they put their faith in things that may not prove to be worthy of trust. The Bible's very clear on trust. It says, don't trust your sword, your friend, your wife, your own wisdom, trust only God. But that's challenging as to how should we apply that to today. So I'm sad that we see too much political divisiveness in this time of when we really need unity and encouragement. I'm sad that people do get somewhat passive-aggressive in how they express the anger part of this. I often find the political rants actually entertaining, but I get sad when I have to take my post down. I'm just telling a cute story. This was the story. A 3-year-old, little Tyke, was out on this trail by himself. And we thought, what is wrong with this family? This little kid's out here by himself. The parents we saw later kind of lagging behind. But he immediately darted to the side of the trail, got off the trail and pointed and says, you go that way. And so I thought, good for you, kid. You're telling us what to do. And so we thought, this kid's really been trained. And then we get, so then when the parents came by, we faced away. I hold my breath as they walked by, and they showed no attempt to distance. So I posted this as I thought it was just funny, this little kid, but it drew all kinds of political rants. And so I took it off. And that sort of made me sad for some reason. I felt like I couldn't express some things. So I'm choosing to express this to you, and I want to encourage you to lament a bit in appropriate contexts with people who will understand and not turn it into a political rant and not judge you for feeling what you feel, because it is through social support that we work through these things. And we're in our 6th week. Personally, I'm in my 5th week of seclusion, and I realized yesterday it's starting to get to me a little bit. And so I'm doing fine, actually. I mean, I'm working and I slept well last night. But we need to give vent to these feelings that we have. So I'm sharing them with you, and you are welcome to post in the comments section your lamentation. You're welcome to message me personally. I will delete any political rants that come through me sharing this with you. Again, that is not my intention. I'm trying to really not engage in those kinds of activities. Although I respect people who need to get their anger out through that way, and I think it's fairly harmless. So I wanted to just share with you, I feel a little sadness, and I felt some irritability in the last 24 hours. I expect that it will pass, and in fact, probably sharing this with you will help me feel a little lighter. And I'm being fairly transparent with my patients, trying to model this as well. I had a patient this morning, he asked, how are you doing? I said, I'm a little bit sad today. Therapists have to be careful with that, but with the right relationship and the right timing, it can actually promote the expression of the other party. So that's why I'm sharing this with you today. I'm a little sad. I want to promote among yourselves in appropriate places. Allow yourself to get in touch with what you feel and express it. And we will be supporting each other through this time of tremendous change. God bless.